everyone, Lisa here. Welcome to What's Crafting Wednesday. I hope everyone had a great week. Hope you've been enjoying all the rain we've been having. A little miserable, yes, but so necessary. It's good for our lawn. It's good for the flowers. And speaking of flowers, tonight we will be making a floral card. But first, we have our drawing from last week from our 2 mini albums. This one here was my sample, and then this one here is the one that I made live. And I have my tickets here, so let me get my names in there. So, anyone made a mini album since last week? You had plenty of time. All right, I gave that a good shake, and now I'm going to give it a good mix. And let me see, I have a ticket here, and our lucky winner is Wendy. Well, congratulations, Wendy. And I don't know if you saw my response, Wendy, but you asked if a gift card would fit in here, and it most definitely would. What would be nice to do if you wanted is to put a pocket on one side and put the gift card in it, and then you could have a picture behind it also. So lots of ideas, lots of things you can do. Okay, so I asked what in color you thought I would be showing tonight, and I didn't get any input, but our featured color of the night is Darling Duckling. So let's get started. I'm using the Impressions Abloom stamp set. The coordinating dies. This comes, of course, individually, comes as a bundle, and comes as a suite. There is the DSP, which I'm using also, Floral Impressions. And then the suite comes with an embossing folder, and what else comes with it? Embellishments, and there's something else that comes in this suite at the moment. I can't think of it. But tonight we are using the stamp set, the dies, and the DSP. So let's get started. I'm also using the 2025 to 2027 in color pearls, and I'm using Darling Duckling ink and Early Espresso ink. And I have my card pack here. I have everything all cut and ready to go. Get all my little pieces out. I think I have everything, so I'll put my envelope off to the side. I'm using Mossy Meadow cardstock. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and we will score it at 5 1/2. And this is a very easy card to make. We have just a little stamping. It's mostly just die cutting and layering. And then on top of the Mossy Meadow card base, I have a matte layer of Darling Duckling. I don't know what it is. That name is just a tongue twister to me. I just can't get my mouth around it yet. And I have a piece of the DSP. It's cut at 4 by, I believe it's 1 1/2. Yes, 1 1/2. So we'll add that to the bottom of the Darling Duckling layer. Okay, I got it that time without twisting my tongue. So that, just put right on here, line it up, hopefully make sure it's straight. And then that will get adhered right to the card front. I always like to open up the card when I put the layers on. And then, oh, I didn't show you the dies. let me show you what comes in this set of dies. We have the 2 different ovals, and we are using both of those tonight. One cuts out a just a plain oval with a little beveled edge, and then the other cuts out the dotted frame. And then the flowers, you can cut out just your stamped images, or you can do like I do, cut it out and have the embossing on it. Same with the leaves and the stems. So great set of dies. They can be used here on their own if you don't want to stamp, or they can be used in conjunction with the stamp set. And then next we're just going to glue this white oval down. And just eye it. You want to have a little bit of an edge up on the top. And you want it to be as centered as you can on the card. And it's a little crooked to me. Let me see if I can still lift it. Yes, I'm just going to move it a little bit that way. Okay. And then I'm going to glue our flower stem down. And this is thin, so you just want to be careful. You don't want to get too much glue on it. And the reason I'm gluing this first is I just want the frame to go over the very bottom of it. It's just going to go right in the middle. And then again with the frame, we're just going to put very little glue on here. I mean, this would be pretty also without the frame. This just adds that extra little oomph to your card. It's just a little extra embellishing, little extra taking it to the next step. So I'm just carefully going around here to make sure I don't get too much glue on it. And then I will use the tweezers to put it in place. Perfect. And the flowers I put down with dimensionals, but first we're going to put the centers on, which I just glued down. Just make sure they're the right way, because it does have the embossing on it also. So with the centers, you could use glue dots if you prefer, or just glue them down flat like I did. I suppose you could put dimensionals on them as well if you wanted some extra dimension to your card. And I use the mini dimensionals, and I put one on the end of each petal. So yes, I used quite a few dimensionals. But you know, I didn't want the petals flapping around. And you know, I just happen to like using dimensionals also. And then I use one of the regular ones in the center. So let me just peel all these backings off here. Take me just a sec. So let me know, if you were making this card, would you put one of the mini dimensionals on every one of the petals? Or would you have put less down? Leave me a comment, let me know. Just going to put one down, and then the next one I'm going to turn and face the flower in the opposite direction. Sometimes it's just those little things that just take your card that extra mile. And like flipping your flowers so they're not both facing the same way. And then the one large one in the center. And let me just get all these backings off again. You're probably saying, gee, I wish she would use less dimensional so it didn't take her so long to get the backings off. But you know, if I used less dimensionals, I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. I'd be so worried about the card. I have always used a lot of dimensionals. I just always have that fear that they're going to sag in the middle or it's not going to hold. And this one here just does not want to come off this backing. Okay. So I'll just turn this flower slightly, you know, it goes in a different direction. So okay if they overlap a little bit. And then I went with just one leaf. And then I'm going to cut just a little piece from out here to put on the tip. It's sticking to my finger. Okay, so I'm going to put it up there as far as I can get it. And then I'll just pull these backings off. And just overlap it over the stem just a little bit. And now we'll move on to the inside of the card, which I think I didn't show you yet. So I left no sentiment. So next week's lucky winner can use the card for whatever they would like. And I think this could be used for a variety of occasions. Birthday, of course. Thinking of you. Could be an anniversary card. Could be a get well card. Any other ideas? Leave it in a comment and let me know. Now, the way I stamp these flowers, I did stamp off first, and then the detail overlay stamp, I stamped full strength. So I'm going to stamp off here, and then I'm going to stamp off the card a little bit as well. And ink up the next one and stamp off. And then this one here will be in full strength. And let me see which way this goes now. And then this one will be in full strength also. And then I used Early Espresso for the centers. And after I did it, I realized I should have used pecan pie in the center because that's how the DSP is. But it looks like in the DSP that they used pecan pie and then the Early Espresso over it. And now we'll just adhere this to the center of the card. And then after that, we have a few embellishments to put on the front. I use the new In Color pearls. They're actually called In Color flat pearls. Yes, they have flat tops. actually have a nice shine to them. And they come in 3 different sizes, large, medium, and small. So I used a medium up there, and then I did a large and a small. And now we have the envelope. I stamped on the flap, and when I do that, I open it up. And the same with this, we will be stamping off and then stamping the overlay full strength. So when I did this, I stamped the first one in the center. And this narrow, longer petal I put facing up. And then I angled on that side with that longer, thinner petal out, and then the same thing on this side, but facing the other way. Whoa, boy, flew right out of my hand. Luckily, it did not destroy the card. And here is the overlay. I tell you, I had a tough day today. First, one of my, the very smallest die from this set flew out of my hand. Terrible time. I finally did find it. I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, I'll never be able to vacuum again until I find this die. It took me about 10 minutes crawling on the floor where I finally spotted it. And my little blue bin that if you come to my classes, you know I have my our little blue bins that we put our trash in. Well, I somehow knocked into that, and I must have had like 100 little paper clippings and stuff in it. That one flying all over the floor. So it was a messy day for me today. And now the full strength overlay. And then we just need to, oh, I already put the embellishments on. Oh my goodness, mine's slipping too. So that, my crafty friends, is this week's card. So this here was my sample. And the envelope. And here's the one that we just made live. I did put the flowers a little further apart. That was not what I had meant to do. And then here is the envelope. I just love that envelope flap. Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed my first introduction to Darling Duckling. Oh, that's still such a tongue twister to me. And again, we used the Impressions Abloom stamp set, dies, and DSP, which comes individually, a bundle, or a suite. My special this month, everyone who purchases the suite will receive a package of the In Color pearls. Actually, you could have your choice of the 24 to 25 or the 25 to 26 In Color pearls. So the month of May, purchase the Impressions Abloom Suite and receive your choice of In Color pearls as a gift. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody has a wonderful and crafty week. Just a little heads up, next week I may have to postpone until Thursday, but as soon as I know that, I will let you know. And we will showcase another In Color next week. If you have a preference on what one you would like to see next week, leave it in the comments, and I will take it under advisement. Okay, everyone, thank you again. Have a wonderful crafty week. Send me your projects, cards, whatever you make this week. Make sure you share with me so I can share it with everyone else. And leave those comments so you get in the drawing for these 2 cards next week. All right, thanks. Bye.